This is SCTG on WDC Radio. You are now listening to What's the Count Radio. Stay tuned for more information on LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Welcome. This is WDC Radio. I'm your host. I am WDC. I want to thank you for tuning in today and listening in. Man, I got a great show for you today. I got a secret guest over here. I got another powerful gentleman in the office going to be here on the second half of the show. This is my theme song, What's the Count? Curtis Blow, Young Ice, and IG the Great. It's on iTunes, 99 cents, rap version and the instrumental version. So if you're working out, you can get the instrumental version. First verse is Curtis Blow for you NBA fans. Finals is coming up soon, right? Shout us out. What's the count?
Basketball is my favorite sport. You know I like the way the dribble up and down the court, fast and slow. 25 years ago to WDC, and it's me, your man Curtis Blow. From Dr. J to Michael Jordan to Kevin Durant, who leads the whole league in scoring. Dwayne Wade down in Miami, making a name. I love this game. To the NBA Hall of Fame, slam dunks, alley-oops, and the give and go. Vince Carter, Superman, and my man Carmelo and Rondo over in Boston with the big three, captivating audiences across the country and ruling the world like LeBron the King. I say, man, Kobe sure has a lot of rings. That's my thing, not for the bling in the amount. It's the NBA Finals, so what's the count?
All right, so as you know, like I said, I got a very special guest here. I'm gonna deem him my new co-host for the show, WC Radio. I got James Clary here from my sickle cell community. So we're gonna talk to James in a little bit. This is the second verse, Young Ice.
So tell me what's the count? Had Jerry run a route and Montana throw it out. Atwater make him sober when the back try to bounce. So I'm flipping through the channels as the Bulls where I'm out. Turned over 40 enemies, closed mouth. So I'm ESPN and buried like a mouse. Scatting through the rivals, playoff idol. He'll make all enemies suicidal. Similar to Marshall Falk, a quick bouncer. Scatting on the fast, all you hear is the announcer. Dead competition, so the crowd scream louder. Then he realized Roger Craig is his founder. So he sits on the defender around. As Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hooks a mountain. Magic with a pass, so the Lakers straight clowning. All I wanna know is homeboy, what's the count?
And for the second half of the show, I have a very, very special, powerful guest here. Christopher Pierman is going to be here and share his motivational inspiration to us for our community. So he'll be here on the second half of the show. Third verse, this is my favorite. This is IG the Great.
In the ring, all my life I've been a fighter. Greatest upset in history, noted the sports fighter. Put me in the Olympics and guaranteed I'm the torchlighter. Provider of all the lyrics that are blowing scorch fire. I'm in the locker room, getting my hands taped. Thinking speed of a cheetah and strength of a man eight. I'm feeling bad what I'm about to do to this man face. But he the opponent, so I'm on it, loss I can't take. Hands like Mayweather, swag like Ali. You think you way better, homie, than I see. And then I think they call me Hitman, Tommy Hearn. And y'all be biting like Tyson, I learn. And I don't gotta be flashy in front of the camera. All I do is show my warrior heart like Evander. Never been knocked out, but I've been knocked down. Long as I make it to the next round, what's the count?
All right, once again, this is WC Radio. I'm your host. I am WDC, aka Farron. I want to thank you again for tuning in. I got a very special show for you today, representing our sickle cell community. I got James here. This show is a community outreach show for my sickle cell community. That's the platform. I have the trait. My man James here has sickle cell disease, so we're going to share some information this first half hour. But also I like to talk about other things in the community. Like you just saw a few weeks ago, we had lupus, a lot of lupus events going on in the community. I attended an arthritis event yesterday. I have arthritis, so I advocate for that too. So also whatever else the world cares about, you can come here and share your story, share your information here on WDC Radio. Just go right into the show, man. James. It's been a long time coming, man.
Long time coming, man. Long
I've been
time.
inviting James for I don't know how long. Even from on the other WDC, the Movement Blog Talk show, I was trying to get James on there to come on and share his story. But thank you for coming today, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank
First
you.
time
Thank you.
experience. So
James a little nervous. He's like, man, the cameras, man, the radio. I don't know, man. I don't know, but
yeah, I told him. I said, excuse me. I said, I would get through the radio part. It's just the cameras.
well, cameras are invisible, so they can hear and see you though. So just share with our community, man. Let them know who you are, James.
Well, James Clary, advocate of sickle cell disease. Been had it since 8 months.
8 months.
So it's been a real.
And how old are you now? Let them know how old are you now.
I'm 35.
35. That's right?
Yeah. So it's been a rough road, but I'm glad I made it 35 years.
For sure. A blessing, man.
It's
a
very
true soldier.
A big blessing.
So growing up with sickle cell, man, how was that as a elementary school, man?
Oh wow, it was difficult, man.
Yeah.
It was real difficult, missing classes, missing hanging out with your friends, and
Yeah.
to be in the hospital to take care of this, because it's important.
Yeah.
It's part of your life.
Yeah.
So you got to do what you got to do to keep living.
Were you able to share with your friends at that age?
Me, it was really hard for me because, it seems like when I tell somebody, they'll have a certain reaction.
Yeah.
And then it's just like
kind of standoffish.
Yeah.
Like it's contagious. It's not contagious. That's one of those myths we get to disappear. It is not contagious.
So, it was real hard for the first part.
Yeah.
And then, I'm still learning to deal with it.
Right.
But, it's not as difficult as it was back then.
Yeah.
So
by having those kind of friends who didn't understand it, how did you deal with that? Like mentally, did you?
It hurt.
Yeah.
But life goes on.
Did you have an outlet? What was your outlet?
Sports. I was a basketball fanatic. I had the ball in my hand every time I went to school.
Yeah.
So that was my outlet.
Cool.
Let me share my skills and maybe we'll see what happens that way.
Exactly. So how about, junior high school? How was that?
Well, junior high and high school, I was really a loner.
Yeah.
For the past, what is it, like 3 years in junior high?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a loner for the first year,
Yeah.
maybe year and a half. Then, plus I had friends that went to the same school, so it was kind of an adjustment.
Yeah.
But
you made it through. Obviously, you made it through,
yeah.
right?
I made it through. So
give me one of your most memorable hospital experiences, man.
Oh wow.
Good or bad? Don't have to be a bad one. Give me a good one or a bad one. You pick one.
I would have to say that it would be a difficult one because I've just started RBC exchanges.
Okay.
So RBC exchanges is a total different process from regular transfusions.
Okay.
My transfusions, they would go good for the first part, and then like maybe an hour after it's over, I would start to get reactions.
Okay.
Like
what?
hives,
really,
sweats, headaches, severe pain, and it would cause me to be hospitalized. So
so going to get the transfusion was keeping you in the hospital.
I wouldn't say going to get the transfusion, but
what?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. But it's just like I said, the whole procedure.
Okay.
Now I've made a transfer into an adult facility.
Okay.
I was going to children's for a good minute.
Okay.
But
we'll get back to that one in a minute.
Yeah. It was, like I said, it's a difficult process now because I'm in an adult facility, and it's coming along.
Yeah.
It's coming along.
Okay.
But
So let's talk about that transition, because that's a lot of kind of conversation we have too about pediatric care to adult care,
right,
because there's not much adult care out there because of what they used to tell the parents is your kid's not gonna live past a certain age. So
right,
I guess they weren't prepared for
exactly.
us to live in our 30s and 40s and 50 years. So how was it for you, doing that transfer from pediatric, like?
I mean, well, when you are a child and you've grown up in a certain facility, you know everybody from the nurses
Yeah.
to the doctors to the staff,
Yeah.
and then going to an adult facility where you have to learn their system.
Yeah.
You have to, figure out the type of help that you want
Yeah.
and have to figure out a way of going about getting it. Hopefully, uh, they know what you want in the
Yeah.
hospital. That way they can take care of you and get you out.
Right. And you got to be able to share with them what you need. And they got to
Exactly.
accept what you need.
Exactly.
Because you know how much medication you need. You know
Right.
what works for you.
Right.
Because we don't necessarily have our own medication for sickle cell.
Right.
And there's no cure for it. So you may take a higher dosage
Then
of
another
pain than another person.
Right.
What's your experience with that? Have you ever, they question your dosage?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. I mean, but I'm not really familiar with the dosages.
Yeah.
But I'm just not gonna take anything that's unidentifiable.
Right. Right.
So, my main thing is just, I tell them what I need.
Yeah.
If I'm having this type of pain, this type of medication
Yeah.
helps for that pain.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a new facility, and I'm still learning.
So
Still
yeah, it's a
learning.
whole transition for that experience. It's a
Right.
different experience.
Right.
New doctors, new
New
nurses.
doctors, new
You don't know
nurses.
anybody. It's like going to the first day of school.
Right.
All
New
over again.
facility, all over again.
Jeez, what's living with sickle cell for you today? How's that like for you today?
Oh man, I'm just blessed to be alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Living day to day, it's I would like to work,
Yeah.
but certain things, certain jobs you can't do because of your illness.
Exactly.
So I've it's been a hard road for
Yeah.
me.
I can imagine being 35 and wanting to, like you said, wanting to be out there and have a job and work and live a full life,
Right.
and how this disease shows up for a lot of our community is that, we can't have those kind of lives.
Right.
But here on WDC Radio, we like to have those conversations where you can have that kind of life, where that the disease doesn't define you,
Right.
that you can do whatever you want to do.
That's a good
know.
thing.
So that's what we like to talk about here. So definitely want to work with you and see what you want to, I know you got some programs out there that you want to, that you're creating. So I don't know if you want to share that here or you want to wait till we go to the Children's Hospital to talk about that. But what do you see? What do you see that your voice can be in the sickle cell community as a soldier?
Well, I do have a program that I'm trying to start. It's
Okay.
it's called the I Know You program.
Okay.
It's for the young kids that really don't understand and don't know how to deal with it. You can come hang out, you can talk about whatever you want.
Right.
You can talk about how it's making you feel, and the day-to-day process
Right.
as being a child with sickle cell.
Right.
And it should be a good thing.
I think so, man, because being able to relate to people who, have the same
Right.
kind of issues that you have is actually freeing, because now you realize that you connect with somebody else and
Right.
you're
And
not the only one that's dealing with that kind of situation.
Especially for the youngsters too, the little kids, I'm pretty sure they're having a hard time dealing with it, and they don't know who to talk to or
Right.
have anybody to talk to about it. So that'll be a good thing. You can come, you can talk about it. Even if you don't want to talk about it, you can just come hang out and
Exactly. Like I
know,
had you do.
yeah. Come hang
Just
out
come
and
hang
enjoy
out. Just
yourself.
come hang out,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Man, that's huge, man. What are you open to share, like, which sickle cell you have?
I have SS.
SS. And out in the world, we have sickle cell SS. You have people with SC, We have people with sickle cell thalassemia. There's different forms of sickle cell disease out there.
Mine is actually sickle cell anemia,
Yeah.
but it's it's SS.
Yeah.
But I've been laying low with it. I don't really overexert myself on
Yeah.
anything or try to do too much
Yeah.
because only you know what your body can handle.
So you know what your triggers are.
Yeah. So it's wild.
What's your trigger? Is it the basketball court?
Yeah. I mean, I used to play coming up and in school and all, but I'm 35 now.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm 43 now, man, so
I don't know if my body can only do so much when it comes down to the court.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
we gonna work it out because I refuse to let it go. So
Yeah.
we gotta go play horse. We gotta do something.
Hey, as long as we out there, getting a little bit of exercise, I'm good.
Hey, that's always important, right?
Yeah, so
So that's good. What do you want the world to know about sickle cell?
don't ignore it.
Yeah.
Don't ignore it.
What do you
You
mean by
know,
don't ignore it?
Meaning if you run into somebody with sickle cell, just don't pass judge.
Mm,
Try to, get to know the person and more about their illness. And you never know, it might be something that you could do to help.
true.
You never know.
True.
So,
Have you oh, you got some more to say about that?
no, I was just
I don't
saying,
wanna cut you
don't
off.
ignore it. Don't ignore it. That's
Yeah.
all.
Don't ignore it.
Don't
Okay.
ignore it.
What do you think about the myths? There's a lot of myths, man, that I've, since I've been advocating for sickle cell, you know, contagious, it's only
Yeah,
black
I've heard that
people.
too.
What are some of the ones you heard that?
Just the one that you've heard
Yeah.
that it can be contagious,
Yeah.
but no, it's not contagious.
Inherited. So
Exactly.
you get it, it's passed
it's a
in the
gene.
genes.
It's a gene.
And we
So,
don't get a choice. We don't get a choice in our children's eye color or
right,
any of that. So
right,
if both parents have the trait, 1 in 4 chance that your child could have a form of sickle cell disease
right.
because you're gonna pass
And
the A or the
yeah,
S.
and that's what happened with me. My parents
Your mom's
had
is off the chain, man. We ain't even got to your mom's yet.
man, moms, yeah, my mom and my dad, they both have the trait,
Yeah.
and that's how I came up with it.
Yeah.
But I'm just blessed to able to see my life.
For sure.
I'm able to wake up and be blessed to see another day. I thank the Lord. I don't really thank the Lord like everybody else does, but
Yeah.
I do it in my
You
own
got
little
your way,
way.
yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I'm just thankful to have 35 years and hopefully I can have 35 more.
For sure. Sure.
So,
Are you open to share you had any major surgeries or any
wow, I haven't had any lately.
lately?
That was a blessing.
Yeah.
But during the course of me coming up, I've had gallbladder surgeries.
Yeah.
I've had liver surgeries
Yeah.
where they take a piece of the liver and they analyze it.
That was one of my things is I always when I got tested like a physical or something, my bilirubin count,
Right.
liver enzyme, like, man, what is wrong with, like, they would call me back like a panic. And I
Mhm.
never really associated the sickle cell trait could actually have something to do with that liver count
Right.
because of that gene. So
Right.
it affects the liver, and I'm sure the transfusions with iron overload,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's and the crazy thing about it too, with me having a high iron level,
Ah,
I can't really take iron pills.
right.
So, it's certain things I can't eat
Exactly.
due to iron.
Right.
So, just really have to, watch, like I said, watch your diet, watch what you eat
Yeah.
and make just
Do you take XJ to break it, or you just diet it?
yeah, I actually do take
You take
XJ.
XJ?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do take XJ. Um,
What's your take on that?
it's that yeah, I was just getting ready to get to that. My body is still getting used to taking XJ,
Yeah.
So the people that send me the XJ, they tell me, okay, well, you can't eat or drink anything for 30 minutes, or if you take it, you gotta wait 2 hours before you can eat. And
What?
so it's really
It affects everybody different, I'm sure.
right,
Because everybody has different DNA, so
right,
everybody has different types of sickle cell. So
right. And
you have to figure out your body.
with me, the thing was, they wanted me to take 1,500 milligrams, and 1,500 milligrams is 3 tablets.
Okay.
So I would try the 3 tablets,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't agree with my stomach. I don't know
Really?
if it was the pills or if it was the juice that I was having with it,
Okay.
but it would really irritate my stomach. So I would have to like drop down the dosage to
Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2,
Okay.
and that seems like that's been helping.
You give me chills, man. You're a powerful guy, man. Why you been holding out, man? You've been silent. You've
I
been too
mean,
cool, man.
it's
You give me chills just talking to you, man.
because I'm really trying to learn how to deal with
Yeah.
everything. You know what I'm saying? Is the pills. I'm really not cool with them, but by me needing them
Yeah.
for, hey,
Well, I still believe diet, man. I mean, XJ is definitely important. I believe that diet is definitely,
yeah,
know,
it's like
and
I
there is
said,
good iron out there. We got to discover what the good iron is
and what the
because
bad iron is.
exactly, and distinguish the two, and then focus on getting the good iron. You may not even need the XJ
Right,
because if you can
right.
keep, your body at that level of iron that it needs,
Hmm.
then you may not need those pills, man.
Well, I don't know. We just
We'll
gotta
just
wait
we'll
and
just
see.
we'll wait and see.
Yeah,
That's why we get to talk about it and
gotta
have
wait and see.
conversations, man. Maybe somebody out there listening who cares about the iron side of it,
Yeah,
and they'll help us
yeah.
take a look at that,
That'll be a good thing.
because that's what holds that red blood cell together.
Right.
Yeah, the iron is very important. The oxygen also, but the iron is very important in there.
Exactly. Just don't have an iron overload.
Whew. Have you experienced that?
No,
Yo,
I'm
yo,
not
try
trying
it.
to
Not
experience.
Said not no times
No,
two, right?
no,
You good with that
I'm
one?
good with that one.
Man, anything else you want to share about what's up with the music, man?
Oh man,
Give me some of that insight on that music,
wow,
man.
it's I'm working on trying to have me a facility.
Okay.
Just a place for my equipment, a place where I can go and I can get away and I can try to work on some music, but it's a difficult process
Yeah.
for me right now because I'm not able to get what I need to have my full-blown
To
studio.
even practice with it, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
But I'm doing a little something.
We ain't gonna tell them all. They gotta let it
Yeah.
all out right now.
I'm
We still
doing a
got
little
September. We got
something.
Sickle Cell Awareness Month
Yeah,
to
so
do all of that kind of conversation. But you
I
definitely,
mean, I used to be behind the mic.
uh-huh.
Now I feel myself being more behind the scenes, like
Oh,
with the engineering part of
okay,
it.
okay.
So
I'm sure there's in this sickle cell community out here that's like I know in WDC what's the count, sickle cell trait prevention. I'm
that's
sure we
right.
could partner up and bring some of that to the community, where you can be behind the scenes
Yeah,
on some of it.
on some of
On
it.
some of it. But like this right here, you in front of the mic, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you, man, for your courage and coming out, man, and sharing. I know it's difficult, man. I told you it's gonna be first
I
few
mean,
minutes.
yeah, this is. I can see myself doing something like this.
Cause hey, like I said, I've been here by myself sometime, man. So I really would appreciate,
Right.
I'll come and get you, man, if you
Yeah, I
need
mean,
to get here. Hey,
hey, without the camera portion
nah,
of it,
nah, you got to be the camera
but
too.
hey, this is a process I got to get used to. That's all.
Exactly.
Ain't no thing,
But thanks for your courage, man. I appreciate
man.
what you're doing, man. And again, sickle cell is very important in our community. It's very important in the world. It's not just African Americans. Hispanic community is number 2 with it. Mediterranean, European, Caucasian. It's a global issue, a global gene. It's inherited, so depends on where your ancestors are from.
Just take the time to study.
Educate yourself.
Yeah,
That's all it
know
takes,
as
right?
much as you can about the disease, and don't pass judgment.
You know what that passive judgment look like, huh?
Uh,
They do it to us sometimes,
Yeah.
man. We all have people have opinions about everything, though, man. You know, that's how people are.
Hey,
But
to each his
man,
own.
June 19th is World Sickle Cell Day, and we're out to have 100 million tweets go across Twitter that day supporting sickle cell. So you can follow me at IamWDC on Twitter as we start ramping up. We're getting with the CDC, so we're gonna have a message inside that tweet from the CDC, and we're gonna tweet that 100 million times. So we got celebrities, we got athletes. They have millions and millions of followers already. So we're gonna partner with them on that day to send that message out. And we're working on a song too to support sickle cell community as well. So
Okay.
we're gonna tweet that June 19th, World Sickle Cell Day. Not next Monday, but the 17th, I'm gonna have. If you want to come back, I'm gonna have a lot of the sickle cell community here talking about more about sickle cell awareness, the World Day, and leading up to that 19th celebration. A lot of events in the community going on that week. So just check your community. There's probably some event at the church or something that week or somewhere. And I'll get some information to share with the community as well. But June 19th is World Sickle Cell Day. Our month is September, Sickle Cell Awareness Month.
My birthday month.
Oh yeah, so you know you're gonna be here on one of them Mondays the
Yeah,
week
exactly. The week
of your birthday. So
Mhm.
we're gonna take that hour of your birthday. We're gonna have a bash, man, right here,
right
live
here.
on camera. Get some performers out here, man.
That'll work.
Maybe by then you have your DJ equipment. You can show us some of your skills.
Yeah.
We'll work it out, man.
We'll work it out. See what's going on.
All right, thank you. This is WC Radio. I'm your host. I am WDC. Thank you for tuning in this first half hour. I got Christopher Pierman here coming up on the second half hour. I'm gonna let him tell you who he is. We're gonna go about all that stuff, but I'm gonna let him tell you who he is. And we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. You can check us out right now. We're streaming live on Atlanta Talk Live and New York Talk Live, so you can go to those stations and tune in right now simultaneously. We're there streaming live, so check us out on iTunes Radio on the R&B, Ustream.tv, Live 365. We all over the place, reaching millions of people, man. So they gonna see you, man.
Hey.
And
How you doing?
remind your viewers that if they have to get on the go, they could also tune in via TuneIn app or Radio Flag.
That's right,
app,
the apps
Live
out there.
365 app. So
They're those iPhone apps. So your
Take us on the go.
smartphone, you can watch us
Smartphone.
right now live or
right.
audio. Anything else you want to say, man?
I'm good.
Shouts
right
out to your
now.
moms,
Shouts
man.
out
Your
to my
moms
mom.
is,
Yeah,
your
she
moms is powerful, man.
she texting me right now.
She been waiting.
yeah,
She been waiting
actually-
for you.
Yeah.
What she say? What she say in the text?
Nah, she just telling me take the toothpick out. And,
Stupid is part of the persona.
Yeah.
I want to. That's you, man. Okay, so we'll be right back. WDC Radio. I'm your host. I'm WDC. Thank you for tuning in. Again, we'll be right back.
Love you, mama.
It's the boss. You shit on fire right here. Rihanna, you sounding wonderful, baby. Yeah. Deeper than rap on deck. First week looking incredible, too. Yeah. I'm looking for my girl, Blue Gazelle, bifocals. Yeah, I triple with your sale, cause the boy bi-coastal. It's deeper than the rap, deeper than any chorus. It's bigger than the Maybach or anything you could order. By looking at my aura, you niggas know who run Florida. You gotta have morals if you're planning to move forward. Real niggas afford. We grinding.
Yeah, it's your boy DJ D, inviting you to join me every Monday night at 8 p.m. for our new show, Keeping It Real with the Cousins, exclusively on LA Talk Live, Monday nights at 8. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio or watch us on Ustream TV Monday nights at 8. Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is Susan Levin, owner and founder of Speaker Services, inviting you to join me and co-host Jean Noel Bassiar on Monday evenings, 5 p.m. Pacific, for our new show, Talk Up Your Business, Speak Your Way to More Profits. We'll be talking to you about how to use your expertise to grow your business or service through speaking. Our expert speakers and author guests will share their stories and success secrets with you. Don't forget to tune in to Talk Up Your Business Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific. exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream.tv. Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is Jean Noel Bassior, inviting you to join me for my new show, The Book Beat, Monday evenings at 6:30 p.m. I'll be talking to authors about their latest book so you can find a fantastic read. But more than that, I'll be talking to experts about how you can write your own book and get it published. So tune in on Mondays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on latalklive.com. And remember, you can catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV. Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
All right, welcome back. This is WDC Radio. Again, I'm your host. I am WDC. I told you he was coming, y'all. I told y'all he was coming. Man, Christopher Pierman, man, thank you, sir.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure.
Coming on
Oh, we got some claps from the audience.
Thank you.
Awesome experience.
Thank you for coming on the show, man. It's a true blessing for you to be here, man.
Hey, listen, man, when we first hooked up and we started talking, I just felt that vibe with us, and so this was inevitable.
Thank you.
This was certainly inevitable.
Shouts out to Michael Friend for that connection,
too. Oh,
man.
Isn't he awesome?
Powerful guy.
God. Yes, he
Powerful
is.
guy.
Yes, he is.
So please share with my listening audience, man, who is Christopher Pierman, man?
Well, you know what? Let me just tell you this story.
Okay.
When my daughter was 2 years old, we were living in Atlanta.
Okay.
And she said, Daddy, I want to be on the Cosby Show. And at the time, the Cosby Show was like the #1 show in the country.
Yeah.
And I believed her. And in a way I said, well, why not? And the thing about it is, it's like a bumblebee. You ever see that big bumblebee?
Oh yeah,
that has those little wings. See, theoretically, he's not supposed to fly, but he just be flying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he don't care. Buzz, right? So, and that's why I was like the bee.
Yeah.
And so we sold everything that we had, got in a little 280Z, quit our jobs, and drove to New York in hopes to meet him. And gave ourselves a year. And it was a struggle, as you know. And 11 and a half months later, we met him. Doing an audition for The Ghost Dad.
Okay.
And which was directed by Sidney Poitier.
Okay.
And I said, oh, my God, this is it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How the universe brings it all together. So she's in the audition, find out that Bill Cosby wasn't in the room. And so it was like, dang, you know, it's like, is that over? So we're about to walk out the door, and there was this, hey, excuse me. I was like, what? Would you like to meet Bill Cosby? We're like, yeah. You know, yeah. And we met him the next day, did the same lines for the script. He hired her that same day.
Wow.
And the rest is history. And her name was Raven Simone.
Wow.
You know, and I think that from there we sort of learned that impossible dreams can come true if you just totally believe. Now, a lot of times, people tell us this, and we really don't know how to activate that particular magic.
Exactly.
But that's our birthright. We are dream makers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And if we believe in that, we know that things can change. Our health, our lifestyle.
Definitely.
And so everyone knows the rest of the career, you know, because those were continued dreams.
Exactly.
From movies, television. And I retired after the second season of the show, which I directed and produced and stuff. Oh, the video that launched it and everything, which is the highest rated debut in Disney history.
Wow.
And because I had to make sure she got that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I couldn't leave it in nobody's hands.
Right.
So, and thank God they were able to say, okay, Chris, you know, go ahead and direct it because you don't know who she is.
Right.
But anyway, but people along the way would always say, I want to be that, or I want to do this, or I want to, and I really didn't have an answer for them.
Yeah.
Because I was so stuck in my groove,
right,
in my grind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, you did the usual things like keep hope alive, and keep believing, you know.
That goes so far.
But that's what they do.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to give something of value.
Okay.
And so, and I started to think, what can I give people of value? Because this was a miraculous journey for me and my family.
For sure.
And we always knew it was a miracle. You know, after the Cosby Show, the rest was gravy compared to, you know, because that was so like 1 in 10 trillion that you can, you know, like you want to get on the what? I mean, even my mother, you know, who birthed me was like, don't go with that fool.
Like,
don't.
And she was like 2 years old. Like who?
2, yeah. She's taking the baby out. Call the police. My son has
in a 280Z.
In a 280Z. The child has no restraints.
I'm a Z guy, so I heard 280Z.
It was 72. So you know, it was a risk, but if that risk had not been taken, that reality never would have manifested itself. So what I wanted to do was to bring something of value, that if someone asked me that, and I started to think about people who did great things, you know, in the world, how they do that. You know, one of the examples was like Alexander the Great. You know, and I'm a history buff.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, wow, what made this brother so? And then I realized something that was real simple. It was like, well, it was his name. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like Alexander I might can do it. You know what I mean? Mama didn't name it Alexander maybe.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the brother
Alexander, I think I can.
Right.
Yeah, brother. Alexander, I think I can. It was his name. And so he grew up with this mindset that he was Zeus's son, cousin to Hercules. I mean, that's a mindset that's, you know, and it's also a mindset too that they didn't have cars back then. So when he went to whoop your behind, they walked 3,000 miles. You know what I'm saying? That right there is enough to make you go, wait a minute. Yeah, he's coming now. Yeah, he'll be here in 6 months. And he's going to whoop your ass. You know, so they surrendered automatically.
Exactly.
You know? But the point that I'm trying to make is where your mind is where your reality is going to be. And other people have, you know, gone to South America, to Greece, to Italy, and Napoleon, so forth and so on, just studying. And I found that they all had these common principles.
Okay.
And I noticed that during our journey that we had these particular principles, and I called them dream catchers.
Okay.
And I put them in a book called Dream So Big, which is right here, you know. But and I just wanted to show how in using these 8 dream catchers when applied to your life and dreams, your dreams can come true, because you're no different than an Alexander the Great.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you're taller than Alexander the Great. You know what I mean? He was a little too, but he would whoop you. You know what I'm saying? But the point is the mindset.
And so I wanted, when Michael connected me with you, like my conversation has been this a few months about how our communities, particularly the sickle cell community that I'm connected with, the disease, they let that disease define them.
Right.
And then it's
you
like,
can't do
what
that.
am I gonna do? Like, I can't do nothing. What I want to do. I want to do this, but I can't. I can't go
Right,
get this job
right.
because I can't. And I'm like, no. Like,
I think that, and this is what I talk about in my seminars and my YouTube series and so forth. It's the fact that every human being that has landed on this earth, if you think about it, right? Because you come from nowhere to somewhere.
Yeah.
That's in itself. First I'm walking with you and next thing you know we got now a little mini-me. Where does that come from?
Exactly.
But whoever comes and lands here, all has a purpose.
For sure.
All has a purpose, man. And the journey is to find what that is. And that journey is not defined by 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, or 90 years.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And what's important is find out what gift you came with and what gift you are to give.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? And everybody has that. But until they're able to tune in within themselves to realize, well, wait a minute, I'm here for a reason. A lot of times, young people or people in general feel as though they have no reason.
I got mine at 40.
See what I'm saying?
And I thought my military career was it. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna join the service,
Right.
Defend the country,
Right.
And then
Right.
my experience, I realized was part of my purpose and who, what my life was gonna be about.
Absolutely.
And so I got that, and now I know what that looks like. And when meeting you, it's like, man, like I know how to have that conversation too. And what more way that I can help my sickle cell community empower them in that same kind of environment and mindset.
And they shouldn't. I mean, there are some people who have done some incredible things with, whether with having a disease or handicap or something like that.
Exactly.
And you just have to focus in within yourself to find out and ask the question. It was a statement that was made that was very powerful. People don't, when you knock, a door will open, or if you ask a question within, the answer will come. It's true.
Yeah.
How many times have you sat and pondered about something and asked a question, and all of a sudden you heard a little whisper?
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, that's
Man,
true.
that's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's straight real. That's
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to that voice every time than Leroy Jackson down the street telling me, no, you know what I'm saying, man? You need hold up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you have to go within, and there's a reason for that. 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, the Greeks would say, as a man thinketh, so shall he be. Man, that's deep. What does that mean? That means your thoughts are always creating your life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Let me give you an example. What does a crack addict think about all the time?
Oh. Gotta get it. Gotta get that next
Okay,
one.
gotta get it.
that next
What does a
one.
rich man think about all the time?
Where's the next
Money.
dollar? Where's it coming from?
What does a broke man think about all the time? He's broke.
Yeah.
Am I right? Every time you talk to him, man, I'm broke as hell. Man, I can't even buy it. I'm like, dang, really, bro?
Really?
So you have to work. In my series, I talk about we are creative beings. And that power is in us naturally and innately. That's who we are. And it's done by a formula I put together as thoughts plus words plus action.
Ooh.
Each equals creation.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what we think, what we say, and what we do is always going to picture our world.
How many times those things don't line up though?
Well, yeah. You see what I'm saying? But
sometimes they don't line up though.
No, they don't, and that's the learning process. That's why they hire me. You understand what I'm saying?
Get them lined up.
Well, you get it lined up, and what's the most important thing, and we were talking earlier in the back, is that your mind, body, and soul all has to be. That's why those people back, man, just think about this. Even 3,000 years ago, they mapped the constellations, right? They didn't have no Hubble telescope. They were just straight looking. I can hardly see the moon, brother. I swear to God. Man, we say, look at them. It's foggy. They were looking at Sirius. They were looking at constellations. Why? And I think it's because of what they ate. You know what I'm saying? What they ate strengthened their sight, strengthened their hearing, strengthened the power of being here in this world. And we've forgotten that. We want everything so fast. We want preservatives in our food. We want to go to McDonald's every day. We was talking about earlier.
We want to heat it up in 2 minutes.
And you know what I'm saying? Quick. Now, I ain't never seen, and my mother would say, this is so funny, I get to my other part. She said, Chris, I ain't never seen a chicken leg this big. Now, she's from the country. But it made kind of sense. They don't make chickens. They don't grow, you know.
Not
but
the real
we're doing
ones.
that.
Not the real ones.
Not the real ones. They little bit, they like little chicken wings. So the point that I'm trying to make is that, you know, we as a people, as sentient being, have to understand that that power we have in our lives to create whatever we want is totally on us.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? It's totally on us. I'll give you an example. Doctors have been an experiment where a person had cancer. And they had like 3 people had the cancer, same type of cancer. One, they gave a sugar pill. Another one, they said, we got this new pill that'll do it, whatever. And the person that had the sugar pill healed himself because he thought that was the pill. You've heard of that. It's called the placebo effect. You know, so that tells you right there how powerful our bodies are. If you believe that you are, you're going to be it. But you know what? I ain't been sick. I haven't been sick, man, in 40 years. I ain't had no cold in 40 years. Wow. And the last cold I had, it was so funny. I was like, I ain't having this no more. You know what I'm saying? You know when that one nostril gets clogged up at night and you can't, I couldn't take that no more. You understand?
Be gone.
It's got, dude, I have not been sick.
Breathe and everything.
You throat all scratched. I don't know. I pus coming out. I can't take that. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, my children said, my dad never been, but I used to be.
Yeah.
But for real, it was like, I don't want to take that no more. Just last week, man, I hurt my back. I swear to God, this is just the honest truth. And you know when you get that nerve up your back, you can't and I suffered with that. I said, by Wednesday, I can't have this. Done. It was done when I started laughing, you know. I said, oh man, this is a trip. But okay, they just start clapping. But I said it's not, and I think that power is. We all have that.
We all have it.
We all.
The mind is strong, man.
Yeah,
the mind.
absolutely.
When you can tap into, like you said, the mind, body, and the spirit. When you can tap into those 3, man.
You do, but you know what? Everything has got to be right though. You can't be. I just believe you.
You got to be in action.
Yeah, and you really do have to eat right, man. We were talking about that in the sickle cell and about having iron. And I said, you know what? Right. It's got a lot to do with that diet, doesn't it? Let me give you another example. And I talk so much, you know what I'm saying? But check this out.
It's all good.
Raven's grandmother had diabetes. And she was a big woman, you know. And, she ate what she had. And she was taking these pills. It was like, almost 100 pills a day. And people can understand this. And so all of a sudden we got this call, Grandma Lulu's gone to the hospital, her one of the lungs deflated and she was drowning in her own fluid.
Oh my goodness.
So they rush her in. So here comes her doctor, and the doctor was for 20 years.
Right.
Saved or whatever. And then when she's over near death, he says, okay, what I'm going to do is going to write you out a diet for you, whatever. 6 months later, her lung was regained. She wasn't taking the pills anymore.
What?
But listen to what I'm saying. Dude, and that's where I am. I'm like, dude, why didn't you do this 15 years ago?
Exactly.
Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you let her know that? And it was a very specific diet. Eat this, combinate that with that. He knew. But they didn't do it.
That's the practice.
That's
the college practice.
Hey, so food is everything, man.
It is.
And exercise is everything. Thinking is everything. If you want to be a fantastic dream maker, and that's what I advocate with. And I know that we're coming together.
Definitely.
And we're going to be talking together on some stuff and going to the children's hospitals and so forth, and just let them know, hey, listen, you got some pain, you got this thing, but that doesn't define you.
Exactly.
What a gift have you come? And if you want to find out what that gift is, go inside.
Yeah. I always ask, like, what's your voice? Like, what do you think your
That's
voice
right.
is? And
That's
then you
right.
take that and say, okay, expand on that.
Absolutely.
Like, what do you want the world to know?
Absolutely.
And that makes them think, and then they say it, and then now how can you take that
Absolutely.
and move forward from that, and then start having that conversation?
But if you're also so consumed with, I hope I live till tomorrow, I hope I live for, when you're
You ain't
consumed,
gonna
that's
see
going to
that.
consume your
Yeah,
life.
you ain't gonna see nothing else.
Something that I saw that was in this movie, with Brad Pitt. What was it with the warrior thing? There was he played Achilles. What was that? What was that movie? Troy.
Oh,
That's right. See, that's what I'm saying. My homie. We're gonna have to go to the movie. It was funny because it made me think, because you can find a lot of wisdom in everything.
Oh yeah.
So remember when the little boy was trying to find Achilles, and he was awesome. He had like 2 or 3 babes in the bed, wars going on. He was rolling. He was Achilles. So he said, man, they got the war. You need to come. He said, all right, hold on. He said, are you worried about getting killed? And he said, what difference if I die today 50 years from now?
Ooh.
But that meant a lot to me, because what really difference does it make when in the terms of eternity?
Yeah.
So you come for a specific reason. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Mother Teresa came for an 85-year period. Then there's some other brilliant people that burned out. But it's what they left. It's their gift. You know what I'm saying?
And what they left, and the legend and the legacy.
Absolutely. What gift did you? Because you're never taking anything with you.
Yeah.
It's always going to be, what did you leave?
Yeah.
I've been fortunate to say, well, I've given my daughter to the world because she's brought a lot of laughter to people.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I feel good about that. And it's so important to know that. Can you lay on your last day? Can you lay on the bed and go, it's all good? That's important, as opposed to
from
19
this to 2000 this. What's in that dash?
Absolutely. That's what matters.
So that dash.
Now, I know the brother here, you're in the music. That sounded to me a little passion of yours.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And that's your gift. And what else have you got to do? You know what I'm saying? What else is there to do if you're not following your gift and following your joy?
Yeah.
That's what this life is about.
Definitely. So are you gonna give out some of the pointers? We got like 8 minutes left. You want to
Okay,
give
man,
a little tease, get a little taste of it?
Well, listen. I use these basic principles like pay attention, dream catcher 1. Believe it, picture it, aim straight, get real, kill fear, do good, and be you. Let me give you an example. Pay attention is something is a very powerful magic. It's a very powerful energy. If you pay attention to what you eat, you'll lose weight.
Right.
If you simply paid attention. Am I right or wrong?
That's true.
And that's just a small example. When I talk about belief is a power. Because again, it says, as a man thinketh, as a man believeth, so shall he be. Mm-hmm. That moves molecules, man. Yeah. A lot of people, they believe in a lot of things. What made Michael Jordan so great? Even into his older age. Right? You're like, how can this man believe he gonna take you?
Still got it.
His mindset was so strong, he was still, even though these young guys was quicker than him, but they couldn't beat him.
He wanted to be at that that top level.
What he believed he was.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even Napoleon, said, I was destined to be who I am. Like, dude, you 3'3". Dude, wait a minute. Can you come here, midget? Which is nothing wrong with being a midget. Right. I'm just saying it was just awesome for you to do that and did it.
Yeah, exactly.
I got mad respect for you.
Exactly.
Aim straight, man. If you ever want to hit a target,
yeah.
If you ever want to hit a target, whether it's what you want to do in life or whatever, you have to aim straight. You have to aim. You have to focus. Man, that was some serious stuff. The other one is get real. You have to be
what is that? What do you mean by get real?
Well, say, look, you want to play professional football and you 3'5". That ain't real, man. It's not real, dude. Stay within your, stay in the road.
Well, now you got one position, you can be the towel boy.
Well, there you go. Boy. There's always you can be the little T they kick off on. Okay. Kill fear, man. I think that's one of the most important principles. That fear is a dream killer. is a dream killer, man.
Fear is made up anyway.
Yeah, it's an illusion.
It's made up.
It's an illusion. That's why a lot of times they say I walk in what is that? The shadow of...
Walk in the valley of the shadow of death.
And I what?
I will fear no evil.
Absolutely. And then they ask the question, why? No, but seriously, there's a deep thing to that, because first of all, the perspective is this: are you a human being having a spiritual experience, or are you a spiritual being having a human experience?
Exactly. And we are spiritual.
What? So we're a spiritual being. You know how powerful that is?
Man, it's your
know
point
how
of view.
Powerful
you gotta change. You gotta your view.
Because if you're a spiritual being, that means you were never born, and you'll never die. Right?
We just here playing the game of life, man.
We're here. That's what I'm saying. So fear shouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, dude, I'm that powerful. So what I have fearful of, what I need to do right now is to color my world. Exactly. What I have to do right now is to share my gift that I'm bringing to the world. That's you. You're doing wonderful in what you're saying and helping so many people. And that's my whole life right now. It's just empowerment and letting you know how powerful a being you are. And I think that young people need that so much today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right now they're lost.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are you lost? Dream it. Think it, and it'll be. I swear to God, it's been happening for thousands of years.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So what do you want the world to know about your speaking and the dreams? What's
Oh man, I think how great you are, and to live a life of greatness.
Yeah.
And rise to greatness. Don't want to be
discover
just,
your own greatness.
You do, and
Discover
first
yourself.
of all, know it.
Yeah.
I mean, know it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first thing.
Yeah.
And I have a series on YouTube series.
Give them that. Give them your
B. My website is facebook.com/Christopher B. Pearman, Pearman. Come join me, friend up. And on Twitter, Dream So Big 2020, and just finished filming a movie. I'm a director, producer. I just do what I love. But the most important thing is, just coming and vibing with young brothers like yourself, and trying to let people know, look, no matter what is in front of you or what is happening today, there's one thing that's guaranteed: that sun is going to always rise, and so will you.
Exactly. Any questions for him, James?
Please have a question for me, James.
We got like 3 minutes, James.
Got 3 minutes, James. Make it quick.
Wow. I just want to know, what was it like to what kind of feeling did you have when you found out your daughter got the call?
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Let me tell you something. When she was in there auditioning for him, the other girl, they didn't let the parent come in. But when they said bring Raven in, they said bring me in. I didn't know why. So when she was doing it, man, she had like 8 pages of script, man, that she just knocked out. She just killed it, right? And so when she finished, I picked her up and started screaming, and we were just into the joy of it.
Right.
I didn't care whether she got it or not. And I know Cosby was looking at me like, okay, get that brother out. Get him out now, please, security. But for me, it was like, sweetheart, you did what you needed to do.
Right.
And I was so proud of her for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether she got the show or not, we would have gone home. I would have been still elated because at 2 years old, you stepped up. And I know people that are grown that don't step up.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And she stepped up. And once she did that, and I also realized at the point that because of you stepping up, you have now realized the secret that has been with mankind for life, that your dreams you make.
Yeah.
And she understood that.
Yeah.
At that young age.
At
so
a
that's
young
why
age, too.
at a young age, which is beautiful. So then when it came to doing music, she got platinum records on the wall. She's got, awards and all, done from
But
television.
remember, when you're 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, that's where what do you want to be when you grow up? You think of, I want to be the astronaut at 5. So
Absolutely.
that's where all those dreams are.
That's right. And
some point, somewhere, those dreams get killed off because of people's opinions.
their fear,
whatever.
right.
And you stop dreaming. And
you
now
stop. Yeah. Because what would have happened if Barack had stopped dreaming?
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? We probably would have had Bush 3.
Man.
It would have been George Bush 3. Like, well, first of all, where'd he come from?
Yeah.
But we kill our children's dreams because we are hurt because either our dreams didn't happen.
Self-expression is powerful, man.
Yeah,
Your self-expression.
Yeah,
Don't kill the self-expression.
No, man. I don't care if you know, my daughter had said, "Hey, I just want a lemon stand." We would have had lemon stands every corner of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? She would have been raving lemonade stand.
Christopher, man, thank you for coming on the show, man. I look forward to making a difference in the world with you.
Yeah,
man. For sure,
yeah,
man. Especially in our community.
Absolutely.
But in the world, man.
Well, I hope you invite me back, man. I want to do this.
Of course, man. Of course.
I love this, man.
Of course. Thank you.
You and the brother.
All right, so again, thank you for tuning in. This is WDC Radio. I'm your host. I am WDC. Quick shout out, Saturday, Trench Talk, 13:30, 1:30 for you civilians, Pacific Standard Time, Trench Talk. I'm going to have veterans in here sharing their stories and veteran resources here on Trench Talk, so look for it. Saturday. We'll be back next Monday. Again, thank you for tuning in. And this is WDC Radio. I appreciate it.
You the man.
James. You here, man.
James.
You here.
Yeah.
James the man.
All right, thank you.
And who are the people over there?
That's my producer, man.
yeah.
That's
We
back
gotta
there.
get him
We got
a
an
shout out.
intern, too. We got an intern back
But
there.
the producer's sexy, ain't it?
No.
Sexy Charlie.
All right,
I'm
so
not mad.
this is WDC Radio. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week.
All right.
Shout us out. What's the count?
What's the count?
Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. You're tuned in to LA Talk Live, where we're more than just talk.